Who here on this podcast has the most aura?
I would like to put myself forward for most aura, but only because I had a series of emails over 2 years from a woman who told me I'm the reincarnated Archangel Michael, and I'm pretty sure that's going to come with a degree of aura.
I was gonna say, like, that's a very unadulterated thing to assert about yourself too, so that helps.
I would have said that was egotistical, but I think you're right, and therefore it's not. That's the secret thing about being right, is that it kind of takes away all other considerations.
Yeah, look, it's not me who said it. It's Bethia, the woman who spent 2 years trying to get me to buy crystals and things to activate my Archangel Michael powers.
Yeah, I've heard this story on various podcasts, and it still blows me away because I've never wanted anything as badly as that person wanted to sell you crystals. Like,
oh, she wanted to sell me crystals so bad.
Truly life-changing things. I have just been like, it's not worth it.
my favorite thing is the fact that she has a YouTube channel, and the first video I saw that it had was Always Expect the Unexpected with Uranus.
Yeah, I mean, words to live by.
Words to live by.
We can roll this into the role play because you all are at a party right now, and I think, Barbella, you can be telling some crabs a story about sometime someone's tried to sell you crystals. It is New Shells Eve, a big hominid event where people have outgrown their old shells, get new ones. All of you have been invited. All of your beloved characters are here, so we're mixing. Last time on this adventure, I guess I should say, you sent away the Storm Giant White. You don't know when he'll be back. In the meantime, the main threat to Zolfo is the Banana Baron, and I guess Master Evers is out there somewhere, but you don't know exactly what's going on with that. So you actually are relaxing, maybe for the first time here at the Cape Hearts New Shells Eve party.
Yeah, but Barbella is recounting the story and being like, they kept trying to sell me these crystals that would allow me to activate my powers of the what was it? The joke telling chipmunk deity, but we all know that's ridiculous. That's not a thing that exists. What a silly thing to try and get me to buy crystals for. I already have many riddlefish crystals. I'm good.
I have to make an immediate aside here. Austin, you also could have called this All Hallowed Eve because the old shells have been hollowed out as they move to the new ones. That also would work.
Sure, I think we already have Biko Ween as a Dice Funk holiday, so I'm trying to diversify our portfolio. There's Wormsgiving, there's a whole slate. Someone's keeping the wiki up to date.
the official holiday calendar that we actually, that'd be a nice item. Just make a calendar with all the holidays on it for people to just hang up unironically and act like it all makes sense.
What's the extra week we have, though, or month? Blurns Day or some shit like that? Like, we have the exact same calendar, but there's one day that's different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about our lore.
I think what would be really quirky and fun, Austin, is if, like, I don't know why, but just Reaper didn't talk this episode. Like, she just physically couldn't talk.
Did something happen to your mouth, jaw, or throat that maybe is making it difficult, Quinn? Okay.
No, it's fine. I'll do it, but just for bangers. Nothing else.
Okay, all the Cape Hearts are like, Ripper, what's the matter? You're not talking. And you're just like, I trained too powerfully. I trained too close to the sun.
It's fine. You just write things down in the Discord and we'll read them out for you as if you've written them down. Like Reaper has written them on a pad of paper and someone else has had to read it out for you.
Yeah, just I need nothing but layups that I could just dunk, and that's all my contributions could be.
Much like Reaper, who was penetrated by several large objects last arc and is injured, Quinn, ... you get the rest of the joke.
Yeah.
But no, the Cape Hearts are everywhere. They're exchanging shells. Not a lot of them are actually hermit crab hominids. So they don't actually need new shells. They're just observing the hominid holiday. But yeah, you can also just give gifts. It's loose.
Is this the equivalent of Christmas that exists?
I think it's like New Year's Eve. It's just like a new year, new shell.
Okay, because if I recall, very early on in the season, the kids asked for presents, and Reaper just said she was going to give them all boxing gloves.
Yeah, I mean, I think
if-
that's still on the calendar. I just love this
Oh,
fact
okay.
about hermit crabs is they literally do gather. They get in a big line from biggest to smallest and then pass the shells up. It's incredible.
Okay.
Barbella is rifling through the book of riddles, trying to find an appropriate riddle for this holiday. And the best she can find is on the shore with homes in reach. A hermit's choice is not the beach. What am I?
A shell?
Yeah, Shell. I mean, the holiday kind of helped, but
Yeah.
I'm Shell. Ooh.
That was Allison in character. She puts a hand up for a high five.
Barbella takes the high five despite thinking it might be petty.
It certainly adds to the celebration on all that stuff there. So
Alfago gives you a look. Common is not his native tongue. He doesn't get it. That meant nothing to him.
well, that was a Boyce. That was someone else. That was some other character on the scene. I didn't do the voice.
What does Alfago speak normally?
That's a great question, Quinn, and I'm so glad you asked. I definitely had something prepared. Let's say Aquin.
Also, Reaper almost never understands them.
Oh yeah, I think we might have briefly mentioned that in the episode where you were.
It was an entire plot point for 2 episodes that Reaper couldn't understand half the characters.
I would say that in all of this, Boyce is probably like doing a little assisting by like double checking the measurements of the shells to make sure they're like all in tip top shape for their new owners and stuff like that. Those sort of like pleasantries and such, while making small talk and such with the Cape Hearts and stuff like that.
Ooh, Barbella does have another crab riddle. This is a good crab riddle. I'm no fruit, yet climb I can, the largest of my kind on land. What am I?
Coconut crab.
Yeah!
Hell yeah. Shell yeah.
That's a good one, that, right?
Yeah, all the Cape Hearts are giving each other big claw fives. They hate coconut crabs who can't get in the water. They think they're posers and they're nerds.
Big fucking losers.
Feel free to establish anything else or have any conversations. I'll say that some of you brought guests to the party, and they are pitching you on solutions to the Banana Boys. Allison is like, I heard you, Barbella, you just said we just go to their farm and we just kill them all. We just start stabbing them. That's pretty metal. Did you get that from the text? Is that like an interpretation?
Did I say that? I don't know that I said exactly that. Did I?
During the downtime, Killings asked, "What did you wanted to do?" And that was I think your tentative solution, which is like, "What if we just killed them?" Or it might have been Stranger who suggested it, and you were like, "Oh, maybe." I guess.
Okay. Barbella will respond. I mean, it's not in the text, but it's in my heart. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It depends. How are you vibing with it?
Allison says, well, I mean, we don't really have a court system, and it's going to be pretty hard to get them on any kind of formal charges. It seems like the Banana Baron is pretty careful about not doing active crimes, and he keeps giving back to the community. He's made a bunch of donations to the church. Like, I don't know, we probably have to get creative. You're not going to catch him doing something bad.
What if we trick him into doing something bad while secretly the whole town is watching from like just behind a curtain?
We're gonna pulling a prank show element on this thing here.
Yeah, it's like, surprise, the whole town knows you did crimes.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly a possibility. I think Uncle Capehart, who just got back from the Coral Kingdom last arc, will say, yeah, that's a kind of a sting operation. I love that stuff, You gotta get them, what's the word? Entrapided. You gotta entrap them. I would love to do that. So, you hear about this treasure? You know, the treasure of the explorers that the guy who died and his son brought him here. There's all these gold pieces, right? So what if we get the gold and he tries to steal it from us, and we'd be like, look, he's stealing, and then we can kill him.
Foolproof plan. If you know where to find legendary rumored magical gold that we can use as a bait, that sounds like a plan.
I like to think Reaper is pushing a crab on a swing for some reason.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I think we should just walk into their house and kill them.
Allison holds up a hand for a high five for that. That's her suggestion. I will say out of character.
Reaper will not stop pushing this child crab on the swing to high five Allison.
Okay, you leave her hanging. I'll say out of character, what Uncle Capehart is referring to is in the first downtime when Lillian broke that urn, and the kid was like, "No, my grandpa. Now I'll never learn where his gold is."
Is it not just a spell like find gold?
There's locate item, but that has a distance limit. I'm not saying it's off the table. That is literally one of the pitches I'm having an NPC give. So all the players can suggest things. The Allison gave a pitch. The Capeharts gave a pitch through their uncle. And then I'll just have Elfago say to Boyce, I was looking through Elf Navy documents, and it appears they were hunting whale. Cetus, you know this?
You'll have to kind of refresh my mind on the particulars of that, Elfago. What you got there?
Cetus is a large sea monster. It is the only thing that is hunting Kraken in the sea. But they're hunting whale for their oil and blubber. But if perhaps whale take off tentacle, we get it for spell, the terraforming spell I am telling you about. Maybe we bring along hunting party, something happens. Oh no, the banana baron, and he is eaten by Kraken, so sad.
Right, so that's what I was thinking of. If we could, instead of trying to beat them at their own game, we can make a feint as if we're trying to usurp the land underneath them, and that could bait them into a disadvantageous position if they're being hasty about it.
Uncle Capehart just says, oh yeah, definitely. Let's just go into the middle of a fight between a Kraken and a giant whale, you fucking dipshits.
Well, no, we make a big catapult to throw some, like, I don't know, what do Krakens eat? Peanut butter onto the banana boys, and then, like, push them near the Kraken fight. Yum, 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 tasty snack.
Elfago says, Krakens eat everything, that is why they're Krakens.
Okay, yeah, so my plan of catapult, peanut butter on the banana boys, and push them near the Kraken could work.
Allison looks visibly nervous about going into Kraken territory. But yeah, these are the three NPC plans I have prepared to offer you, but the sky's the limit.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'd love to be able to take out that Kraken just for the prospect of being able to, well, make the terraforming magic that you kind of ran over my way, Elfago, to make it work. It's just the logistics of getting it all to happen. So, that would just be it's a tight thing to kind of organize, because we would have 4 different entities in that fight: ourselves, Banana Barons, the whale, and the Kraken all at once. And that just seems that's a lot of variables that could go sideways.
Mama Capehart comes by and with a plate of krill, honey, krill.
Sure, thank you. Boyce will politely take some. Do I need to roll a Constitution saving throw in response to this, Austin?
No, these are the new good krill from the Leshies. So
right.
Yeah,
all right. This is not the questionable krill that we're not being slowly poisoned by our own food unwittingly.
Yep, this is you've avoided this food poisoning for your actions.
That is a 4D chess move.
Reaper's gonna turn her head at this conversation and say, did someone say they needed someone killed?
I'm pretty sure every plan we have on the table involves someone getting killed, Reaper. It's just a question of which method of getting someone killed we're doing.
Yeah. I mean, alighting the Banana Baron boys underneath a falling Kraken limb is an accidental death option for sure as well. But I guess the question is, how direct we want to be, and what sort of precautions do we need to make to, take this fight to where we need to take it?
Uncle Capehart says, you know what I need killed is my fucking poverty, Reaper. You know how many debts I have back at the Coral Kingdom?
Yes, but they should be all dead soon or something. I don't know. Isn't someone dealing with that?
I mean, yeah, there's military stuff going on. No one's gonna go into their place and slaughter the civilians. I hope.
Well, maybe you should be getting on that.
Innovate.
Or get money. One of the two.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some money.
Well, would the gold plan fix that as well?
With the gold plan will fix everything. Definitely. I don't know what you're asking, but yeah, it'll fix everything. Why?
I'm just working out what other things the gold plan helps with.
Allison intervenes and says, "Barbella, he specifically was not answering your question. Please ask what. I'll answer your question. What do you mean, fix what?"
Oh, one of our plans was find some rumored gold and then have the Banana Boys try and steal it and be like, crime occurred. But also, we would then have gold and he has debts.
Yeah, Allison says, yeah, there's the legendary treasure of the famous explorer Dwayne. Apparently, his ancestor brought his ashes here recently. And so there's like a legendary treasure out there. We can all get very rich. And if the Banana Boys try to violently stop us, we can kill them in self-defense, is that plan. But, I mean, that doesn't solve the terraforming, ending homelessness stuff, and it is also pretty duplicitous, and I'd like to think of myself as kind of a straightforward, nice person. I don't know about all that.
Oh, that's fair. I wasn't advocating for it. I was asking questions and making sure I knew all the things.
You know what a good plan would be? We
Yeah.
break into their house and stab them in their hearts while they're sleeping. Still pushing this child on a swing.
Yeah, El Fago says, yes, this is getting rid of a big community member who owns a lot of land. It is not making us particularly rich, nor letting me invent new spells. So I have to say, for my purposes, kind of a downgrade.
Yes, but it's cooler.
Yeah, Allison says it does seem pretty cool.
A part of me does love the idea of a boss fight that we just stab once and we win. That does sound cool.
My hope is to, well, as Alfago's been alluding to, such as just like, ending homelessness in a single fell swoop is a very enticing on my table, and being able to have a chance to do that, I'm not sure when the best chance will be to strike for that, but it does seem that like that would be another thing where it either disrupts the Banana Boys' ability to maintain control over the area, and or it could be another way to goad some activity from them and demonstrate that they're operating against the interests of Zolfo and the immediate community around it.
Uncle Capehart says, well, you can count me out of that. I don't want none of that. I'm not fucking with the Kraken. I'll help you all if you want to do the gold treasure hunt. And Allison says, yeah, I don't really want to do a treasure hunt, so count me out of that. And I'm not fighting a fucking Kraken. But if you all want to be cool cowboys, I'll do that. And El Fago says, I am committed to inventing new spell with Kraken tentacle. I am not a cowboy, and I do not care about treasure. So
I do want to kind of maybe do whatever plan would make Allison happy, and that is for completely unselfish, self-interested reasons.
yeah, Laura, you have heard the dry episode we've recorded where everyone decided not to vibe check Queen Kilpatrick. So there's there could have been an element of this whole thing where you're like we're waiting until she learns the truth and turns on you all, but that is not going to happen.
Yeah, Reaper is pretty firm on the only plan she has like an invested interest in is just walking in and killing them. She doesn't really kind of get the value and everything else. She won't stop if like everyone's like that's what we want to do. She just is a very direct person, so she just is like, let's just go and beat them up.
It does feel like that both Barbella and Reaper are on the same page in that respect, since that seems to be the plan that Allison's on board for and is the plan that Reaper is most affin to. So Boyce is very likely just to be outvoted in this scenario when it comes to how to handle the matter for now.
Does Boyce seem like they are particularly like into this plan? Like the Kraken plan? Like are they like very passionate, like I really want this though?
Oh, absolutely. Like he was trying to get the Kraken tentacle to create this level 9 terraforming spell. And Boyce's thought is that a spell like that could allow him to just build the rest of Zolfo in a single instance, and end homelessness in the area. That is like what Boyce's like whole reason for being here is, with respect to what his hopes to realize Ollie's dreams, Ollie's vision and stuff. Ollie and his vision is to get that spell to work, and it doesn't require killing the Kraken, as you alluded to, Austin. It just requires getting a tentacle from the Kraken as a key material component. Is that a correct interpretation there?
Yeah, I will say that if you don't pick it, it doesn't mean that's off the table forever. It could be
Sure.
an epilogue or something else that comes up. Because listen,
Yeah.
there are 3 episodes in this arc. You're not going to walk into the Baron's house, shoot him in the head, and then go home.
Right.
So-
I will say that Reaper is going to spend time kind of staring at Boyce for a while as like this vote is being held, and she's going to just kind of say like, I think we should do what Boyce wants to do. And she's not going to like openly say it, but in her mind she's thinking about the fact that Boyce made a pretty important sacrifice for everybody recently.
Yeah,
so she's like, let me do Boyce a solid here, and I won't just do my immediate murder plan.
Well, given that that's the case, Barbella, also with the knowledge that, like, hey, the Allison situation's not about to get fucked up by Wet Team. Sure, yeah,
or
but
by Dry Team.
Yes, given the knowledge that Allison's whole thing isn't going to get fucked up by Dry Team, yeah, but Barbella's sellable on this. Let's go do Boyce's thing.
Yeah. And Boyce looks over to where Gowdy is, and oh, wait a minute, no, that's not what happens. Anyways, no, but like, if Reaper, like when Reaper kind of indicates anything towards like the idea of going with Boyce's plan, it will catch Boyce a bit by surprise, but there is sort of a soft, warm smile Reaper's way and a little nod. And Boyce will flip out some of his notes and just kind of check on them. And, well, I don't have all the details figured out yet, but needless to say, many things can happen in the process of this. We might be able to maybe pivot to make sure that anyone who's kind of in earshot can have at least some fun of their own during all this.
Allison looks at Barbella specifically and says, I really don't want to. They're so big. Can we not? I don't want to do this.
Look, I know, like, trust me, I want to do the thing that's going to make you happy. That is perfect, but we did just have a whole thing where Boyce made a big sacrifice, and like, you gotta do a solid sometimes, even if that means a big Kraken.
Can you give me one riddle why?
Oh, a riddle why? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have anything that would? Give me a sec. Do I have anything in the repository?
This is like such a classic thing to do. Is like, oh yeah, you want to go to Wendy's? Quote some scripture.
We had almost a literal version of this with the pupusas, Austin.
So here's a fun thing. It's really hard to find riddles about Krakens. And I forgot that this was a thing that you come across. Because Sea of Thieves, the video game, has a fucking mission called Kraken's Fall. That is called Kraken's Fall Riddle, but it's not a fucking riddle. It's just a mission in this open world video game. But it's decimated the SEO for trying to find Kraken riddles.
I should have done this more specific. I should have had all the Riddlefish's riddles be really hard to Google. In hindsight, that would have been really fun. But
Hey,
yeah.
look, I was just looking, like, on the off chance, are there any good riddles about Krakens? And apparently, nope, none of them exist. What's the other thing the Kraken is fighting?
A giant whale or Cetus, Cetus. These are like a mythologically large whales.
Sorry, the first whale riddle that I found is the worst fucking riddle I've ever seen.
Oh no.
I'm excited to hear the worst riddle of all time.
I would struggle to classify this a riddle. The answer is one word. There are 5 letters in the word, and it appears only 4 times in the Bible. What am I?
Okay, so this is a Wheel of Fortune type situation.
That is I hate that, but I like it too.
And also, like, I don't like that riddle because it would have to imply, yet again, we keep doing this, it would have to imply that the Christian Bible exists within the Dice Funk universe. Actually, maybe a different kind of Bible mentions whales 4 times.
The audience discourse this season has been fully all about the difference between jokes and riddles and whether or not we've been doing a good job on that.
Oh no, I fully admit that a lot of what I have done has been jokes and not riddles, but also, the line's really fucking nonsense. It's the distinction, as I understand it, as a person who's crafted a character entirely around riddles, is a joke. I'm not expecting you to get the answer, I am expecting to have to tell you the answer and you will be surprised. A riddle, there is a conceptual ability you might be able to answer it before I tell you the answer. I think that's the only real difference.
I feel good about the ones we did. You got all of them. All 6 I gave you. So.
I think generally so. There's definitely a couple that have, like, walked the line, but that's because, like, what is a riddle but a joke that you work out the punchline before you work out the punchline too well? That's a riddle.
It's all been worth it because we got pygmy-ups.
So yeah, does that satisfy Alison at all? Does the very shitty riddle about a whale suffice?
No, it does not. She's gonna go back to the church and sulk, and Uncle Capehart's like, "Well, I'm gonna go look for the treasure." No, that's the main family voice. It's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go look for the treasure. Fuck
okay,
y'all."
Tell Alison not to go sulk. Give me until the end of the scene to find her a good riddle.
Okay. Well, Uncle Capehart's gone.
Reaper is going to abruptly stop the swing and push the child off and be like, "All right, you've had your turn. Next person up."
All right, the twins both get on at the same time. They do everything together. Swing, swing, swing.
Yeah, there's a lot of swinging going on. But, like, Reaper is very emotionless as it's going. I don't know if anyone's ever just seen the gif of Shadow the Hedgehog from Sonic X where he's just staring into, like, the middle distance in the night sky, and that's the expression Reaper has on her face right now, essentially.
I like the idea that we don't see where the top of the swing is attached to. It's just, like, off camera. Yeah.
So excited to be 2 more episodes. We never have to think about the ocean again.
Okay. Okay. This is what I have come up with on the fly to hopefully get Alison approval. What do you call a giant squid that keeps sort of popping its joints in its tentacles to make a sort of popping sound?
Oh.
What do you call a giant squid that keeps popping its joints?
Yeah.
I really wish I knew this. This is embarrassing. I want to say some kind of pun on double jointed, but I can't think of anything.
It's Kraken.
What are you talking about?
It's Kraken. It's
what do you mean you couldn't get it?
I'm sorry. I was looking at.
It's a riddle specifically about Krakens.
Okay, in my defense, I'm looking at a picture of Shadow the Hedgehog looking into the middle distance while it's raining, and I forgot we were discussing Kraken.
Austin, does the fact that you explicitly sort of were primed to know it would be a Kraken riddle, yet you didn't get it, does that mean I told a good riddle and Alison is happy?
I will say make a persuasion check DC 12. Pretty low.
Okay.
I also have one I just came up with that's really bad. What is a...
Oh, I botched. Fuck.
Oh, no.
All right. Yeah, sorry. She's not mad at you. This doesn't ruin your relationship. I'm just not going to have her fight with you for this part. I will say she did help in a big fight recently, so it's not like she's been useless.
As she's walking off, Barbella is like, from salty depths, a legend does spawn with fearsome grip, ships forewarned. What am I?
A whale. It's in the Bible.
I for some reason I was thinking of something like a breakfast cereal one, where it's like, what sound does a sea monster's breakfast cereal make? We add milk, snap, crack it, and pop. You know?
I like that.
That's pretty good. I'm going to put an icon here for El Fago, which I definitely didn't lose when my computer died. Yeah. So why don't you all talk about to each other and prepare for this trip, because then that's the final arc.
Does anyone happen to know, by any chance, like, hold Kraken as a spell? I know I ask very specific questions about what spells we all know, but the one day I don't ask, it'll be like, oh, well, I knew hold Kraken, but nobody asked if I knew it.
So, I guess the most operative thing would be hold monster, would be the spell. As far as I could see, there is no limit on the size of the target. It just has to succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for up to a minute, and it only has no effect on undead. So unless we're dealing with an undead Kraken, I think we should be safe here. But one thing to keep...
It would require someone to know the spell, which I don't know. I don't think we do.
I don't have it prepared, no. We could go to the spell scroll shop and buy one, maybe. No. The other kind of tricky thing about hold monster is that the creature being held can do the saving throw at the end of each of its turn. So, like, it's one of those things where if they succeed once, the spell has no effect, and it can limit how much time we have with it. Yeah. Boyce's spells do not seem to have a lot that can help in that specific regard. I also do not have, like, dismember as a spell to easily get a limb off of Kraken, so...
I can cast darkness. Does that help?
It might help. I mean, absolutely. Anything we have to kind of obfuscate what we're doing will help.
What about if I cast darkness on myself and then I walked out of it and looked really cool?
I think that would... Maybe if we're trying to... Wow. Imagine trying to intimidate a Kraken with that move. I don't think it'd work, but just... I mean, imagine.
Sounds like you're making a challenge to me. I promise you I'm going to intimidate this Kraken.
I think the other thing to think about here is that I wonder if there'd be a possibility of having this Cetus Kraken, like, engage in a conflict of their own, and that could possibly make it easier for us to get the limb get the tentacle from the Kraken itself without having to, like, do all the heavy lifting ourselves. But that, I think, has its own risk, obviously, in terms of trying to lure one large sea creature towards another and not getting swallowed in the process.
So El Fago goes to the Banana Baron's ranch and goes and tells them that they're doing this. So everyone knows that Kraken tentacles are an extremely valuable commodity as a spell casting component, and so he wants to get in on this. I think El Fago might even tell him, like, hey, this spell I'm working on is going to change like real estate forever. You're literally a cattle baron. You're in the land business. This is going to affect you. And so some people come along. I've put in icons for Baron Valenzuela, Lucius the Blue Dragon, Porter the Sea Bunny, and there might be some other background sea nudibranches branches we haven't given names yet, but there's like a leaf sheep and a sea angel there as well that'll come with. But I will say, if y'all are going on this hunting party, that leaves the defense of Zolfo to the forces you gathered during the World's Fair. So this is the Cephalids, the Leshy, and the Kuatoa. So that you're fine. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna spring a trap on you, like, oh, you abandoned the town, it's all been destroyed. It's fine.
Allison died off camera. Sorry, everyone.
No, I'll never be able to come up with a better Kraken riddle.
No, but like because you did so well there, like you have allies, you have defense packs and stuff. Like you're good there. But that is the situation. In case you're curious, things could have gone differently. Like a whole bunch of people could have been wiped out in the Coral Kingdom's attack last arc.
And the sea slugs are traveling with us?
Yep, that was Elfago's plan. Was that basically you're trying to kill them, right? You're trying to get them
Right.
caught in the crossfire.
Right. We're luring them. Yeah. We're trying to lure them in here and get them killed, but not us. And we also get a Kraken tentacle at the same time. It's a 2 for 1, you know?
I have another Kraken, another attempt at a Kraken riddle that I've come up with, and it's not very good, but I have to get it out of my head now.
Yep.
If Barbie was a giant squid, what would her giant squid boyfriend be called?
Kraken.
Kraken.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. It's there.
It feels like this was a very specific crossover, like so this episode was meant to release before Barbie came out.
No, I'm just scraping the barrel for Kraken puns. I didn't come prepared today. I was too busy seeing rock music.
Listen, it's okay. It's just Kraken, all right?
I would love if they interviewed Ryan Gosling and they were like, "Oh, we love your song where you're a giant squid in the movie called I'm Just Kraken." He's like, what?
And he just dies on camera from embarrassment for that question.
All right, you all meet up with the Banana Boys outside of town. Elfago has seen the Elf Navy maps of their whale hunting operation. Pretty monstrous stuff, but he's going to take you out over there. Is there anything you want to say to these people? There's Porter the Sea Bunny, Lucius, and Valenzuela.
Absolutely. It was like a medal I won from the tournament, right?
From the tournament, you won an event that you gave to the cephalids.
Wasn't there like a physical like element though of victory, like a trophy or crown or something?
I don't recall this specifically, but there could be, I guess.
Okay, well then I have a medal made by the crab children that is meant to be symbolic, and I'm gonna walk up to Lucius, very obviously twirling it like proudly, and just be like, "Oh man, my neck's so heavy from this medal I won in a tournament against mostly losers."
Yeah, we all see it. Yeah, I was tired out. I spent all my slots. If we were both fresh, maybe it would have gone down differently.
Do you want to find out right now?
You bet your boots.
Well, you're gonna have to wait. I'm tired. As reigning champion, I get to decide when the rematch happens.
Well, see, you know what would be a real good way to prove how much better than Reaper you are is soloing that Kraken. We'll stand back. We'll watch you do it. You can prove what you got.
Yeah, Lucius's hand is like dangling down near the wand in the holster. Your like fingers like waving slightly like a quick draw artist. But then Baron Valenzuela comes up and slaps you on the shoulder, Barbella, and says, "Hey there, sister. How's the girlfriend?"
I did a bad riddle.
Oh shucks, that's no good. Is there anything you can do to make up for it? Maybe some kind of plankton pie.
I mean, I think the answer is come up with a better riddle, but so far all of my riddles have been very forced today. I'll get there.
I apologize, I'm not going to be much help on this hunt. I'm not much of a fighter or a magician, but I brought my trusty shell. And he shows you all the razor clam shell, which is just like somebody showing up to like a big game hunt with a shaving razor.
It. Good luck.
Well, thank you, Sister Barbella. I owe you one. The fees for introducing people to the queue have been rolling in. Zolfo's gonna be rich.
Yep, I'm sure that's gonna be a good source of income for you long term.
Yeah, what are you going to do if the tree pope comes back?
Oh, I wouldn't want that. But I hear a little rumor that you all are going to be involved in that decision. You wouldn't choose someone who's going to plunge us into poverty, would you?
Yes. I would.
Porter speaks up and says, "You're joking. You're so silly, Barbella. No, obviously, Wet Team's gonna turn down the Tree Pope, and we're all gonna have all the land and all the vents, and we're gonna do so well. I'm so excited for all of us."
Can I do an insight check on Porter? They seem so nice that it almost seems insane that they're a part of this group.
Yeah.
An 11.
You can't tell it. She's just kind of Zoe Deschanel-ing it, you know?
Okay. She's quirky. She's just so quirky. She has bangs. Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say you can see that the sea bunnies have kind of what look like ears. They're actually like, sensory organs, but she is wearing like 3 earrings in each that glitter with some kind of magic, which she definitely has just a ton of magic items attuned. You don't know what she's capable of. You've never seen her fight, but I will just say that.
I'll say that Boyce is trying not to acknowledge the Baron's words too much as he leaves over some of his notes. Since he doesn't have Gowdy out, he has the manifested mind from the Awakened Spellbook out, which has the face. It looks like a person's face as it's looking over Boyce's shoulder as they're going over notes and stuff like that, and the spell list.
Porter says, "Ooh, magic! Can I see? Can I touch? I'm gonna touch."
Touch. I'm sorry, but touch what? And what do you want to touch?
The manifested mind is Austin. For her, she doesn't answer. She just goes to touch it.
Okay. It is intangible.
Arcana check.
Sure. Nat 20.
Holy fuck. Yeah, so it is intangible, but she has magic items that allow her to scan and store spells. She is trying to basically look through your magical Rolodex, copy your spells, maybe steal from you, just in broad view of everyone. With a crit, I'm just telling you, this is a grand theft magic in front of everyone.
Boyce just starts. Boyce I'm trying to think of the funniest way to deal with this scenario here.
Yeah, you crit, so you can do whatever you want here. I'm just telling. Yeah, I was just gonna have her be like, "Ooh, what does this button do?" and then laugh and run away. But no, she's doing something.
Well, I want to let you do what you're gonna do, but I do want to attempt to sleight of hand one of her earrings off.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm going to assist in this matter then.
Okay.
Boyce is going to accidentally be on the catapult page and accidentally cause the book to just shoot straight up. So it's not in range of being able to be scanned. And in the process, while this attempted thief was trying to peer up at the book, it hopefully gives Reaper an opening to steal one of those earrings rather.
Yeah, Reaper, roll me that sleight of hand.
I botch. But
Lol.
I presumably get some kind of advantage because of the whole book thing, right?
Yeah, I think they're using the assist action is what, because you crit. So here's what I'll say. A crit and a botch basically cancel each other out. So Porter doesn't steal your magic and you don't get her earring, I think is what happens here. But you both try these things.
Sure. Got it. Fair enough there. But that's Boyce feints, fumbling the book, clumsily to prevent the spell procurement from happening. These are an heirloom from my former partner. Very personal. I'm sorry. No looking even allowed in this case. And he tucks the book away safely.
Aw, you're romantic. That's so sweet. I wish I had a squishy lover. And she starts fake crying. Oh, he's a little baby. You're a little guy.
Reaper was very close to her ear when she started paying attention, and she's like, "Oh, sorry, you had a piece of sealant on your ear. Don't worry, I got rid of it. Don't pay more attention to it."
Oh, thank you, Reaper.
Boyce will presentation away those crocodile tears and then just sort of turn his attention elsewhere, just making a mental note of someone's going to try to steal his / Ollie's spells, which is no bueno. That is just not without asking. Rude.
Can I talk to the Baron? I want to talk to the Baron real quick. I just want to walk beside him and be like,
So, have you written like a will or anything up yet? You know, it's dangerous out here.
Well, I have quite a sizable empire, so I have estate planning, it's called. Go into my various sub-branches. There's a trust. Why?
It's good that you have things prepared. You never know when things might happen down here.
Yeah, I don't have an heir, so it's not all going to one person, but I come from a large community of new to branches who've helped me. You know, we all came over here from the Western Sea, but, the ocean provides.
I mean, you could just leave it all to me. That'd be nice. I could have it.
Oh, Barbella, aren't you getting anything from the church? I think you're already set.
Oh, less things being in your possession would be fun.
I think this town has such a bright future with the church and my organization working hand in hand, don't you think?
No, not really. It feels like you don't have a lot to offer.
What do you mean? I own most of the land in Zolfo.
I mean, you're on a lot of the land in Zolfo. Doesn't really mean you own it.
I paid perfectly real, valuable golden pieces, Reaper. How can you say such a thing?
Because gold is stupid and I could punch you and take it if I wanted to.
How could you? Sakes alive, what a notion. I'd love to see it.
It's not really something I'm aiming to do. I already know I'm stronger than everyone in your organization. If you recall the tournament. Remember the tournament?
And she's just gonna start elbowing Lucius.
Remember the tournament?
He pulls his cowboy hat down across his eyes so you can't see his expression, looking away, clearly embarrassed. The Banana Baron not at all betraying anything of the sort and just says, well, Reaper, I want you to remember this moment. It'll be funny later.
I don't have that good of a memory. I'm just going to assume you suck.
You all are getting prepared on the edge of town. Are there anything you want to establish, roll for, any of that before we head out? Because this is going to be like basically an action set piece after a point.
Only what I established during the downtime. I have already burnt a first level spell slot so Boyce could have mage armor up and active, so his AC is 15 instead of 12. But beyond that, he has most of his supplies needed, and we're probably getting mounts as necessary to make the travel easier and all that.
Yeah, because you're doing this with basically a cattle baron, he can provide a hippo camp for everybody. That's no problem. Everyone's saddling up. In fact, this is when the last member of the party arrives. I'll put an icon in the Roll20. Boop.
Oh no!
Oh, it's Butt Whiskers.
Butt Whiskers!
He's still alive.
The sea pig Butt Whiskers. Funnily enough, you look at him. He is a anthropomorphic pink sea cucumber with two very different skin tones. He has like the bright, healthy pink and a much darker, ruddier pink because half his body was immolated by that explosion a Reaper caused. But sea cucumbers can regenerate all of their tissue, and so he looks almost perfectly back to normal health, except for there just being a different scar tissue color. The last you saw him, Barbella, you punched him in the stomach so hard he threw up his entire internal organs, which is just something that sea cucumbers can do. And then you said you left a note for a survivor, basically a support group for like burn victims. And so as he rides in on a hippocamp, he tips his hat to you, somewhat genially, and just says, "Hello all, it's me, Butt Whiskers, the famous mercenary. How you doing?"
Doing all right. You been going to the support group?
Yep, I learned to deal with my anger. It wasn't very productive. I never really had much loyalty to the Coral Kingdom. I was just chasing gold pieces and fulfillment that I could ever find through violence. So I'm happy to give back to Zolfo. We're gonna get a Kraken tentacle, I hear, and end homelessness forever. That seems pretty good.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
That support group I sent you to sounds like it's been real good. I should probably go sometime.
Yeah, but he's gonna say like, I haven't seen you there. I thought maybe you would because of your half of your body situation. Hey, half body buddies.
Half body buddies. I will. It's just finding the time, and I know that's what everyone who's supposed to go to a support group says. I know. I get it. I'll get there.
But Whiskers looks over to Reaper for a minute and then back to Barbella. Not necessarily like he is mad at you because you blew up half his body, but he's like, I'm in recovery. I'm in therapy. I need to let go of my anger. It's fine.
Reaper's almost confused because she's never met someone who she's like beaten up before who's like improved as a person afterwards. Like she's just not used to that. So she's just like almost like, my punching helped someone?
But Whiskers, without looking back at you, Reaper just says, I think everything happens for a reason, and I'm just so grateful to be part of this, so thank you all.
Can I do an insight?
Yeah.
13.
It seems genuine. Okay. I would say it was a DC 10. This guy isn't particularly smart enough to even formulate some kind of deception.
Good job, Butt Whiskers.
Man, what a glow up.
Yeah, therapy's great. I should go rather than just recommending it.
DC 10 is way high for a creature which does not have a brain. Sea cucumbers do not have the capacity for thought.
Well, no, he doesn't have the capacity for thought, but he has the capacity to heal with therapy,
Yeah.
So that's great.
I didn't even mean that. That's so funny. What an obvious metaphor. Yeah, but you're all together. Baron Valenzuela says, I brought over a lot of my crew from the other seas, so we're all slugs, but we hire all kinds. I know you all met some humans I sent down in diving suits. Useless little mammals.
Yeah, once, they really can't do much without some extra equipment, protecting them from the environments down here. It's amazing what a little acid can do in the right circumstances.
Yes, that's why I got some more reliable people watching the ranch while we're gone. And gives you a wink, as if to say, if your plan is to raid our farm while we're gone, you're going to be sorely disappointed. That's not the plan, but he doesn't know that.
Reaper's going to turn to Barbella and be like, do you remember the suit people he's talking about? Did we kill them?
Can we be expected to remember everyone we had interactions with? I don't think so. I think that's expecting too much of us.
Quinn, do you want to be reminded about that?
No, I do actually remember that. I just like the idea because if I recall, that's the person who Reaper threatened to be like, spread my name wherever you go, that I spared you today. And this just doesn't remember anymore.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that basically the order of events is that's how your reputation got to the Banana Boys, and that's why they sent Porter to you during the World's Fair to pump you for information. So that's why that all happened in that order.
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to roll survival? JK, everyone roll survival.
Damn. I got really excited. I wasn't going to have to.
Minus 2, let's go, baby. That's an 11, okay.
Botch.
Well, those are 2 botches.
Oh my god.
I don't secretly have advantage on survival checks that I forgot about, do I?
This is the 4th botch we've had already.
This is not a good omen.
I can see 3 botches on my screen as it is. Like, that's how few rolls have happened and how many botches have occurred today.
Austin, just a reminder, this is backwards week where botches are crits and crits are botches. Remember that.
It's Pride Month! You can't punish us for botches!
Oh my god.
You bigot!
The whole patrol and the Banana Boys head out to the feeding grounds of the cetaceans? Cetaceans? You know what I'm talking about, the giant whales.
Yeah.
Elfago is basically explaining to you that the elf navy comes here in their big ships and they just try to murder these intelligent beautiful creatures, just carve them up. It's disgusting. But the reason the Cetus are here is because they are the only thing that can feed on Kraken, which, you know what? Before we talk about the botch for the survival rolls, can I get nature checks from everybody to just see what you know about these animals, just up front?
28 for Boyce.
I'd somehow a crit 19.
15.
But this is opposite week, so crits are botches, as I was just told.
Austin, you didn't let us have the crits for our botches. You can't do it now. It's only opposite week when it's good for us.
It's opposite. It's opposite month. All rolls are botches. Okay, that's just how it is, I guess.
All right. Crit and a 28, that's very, very, very good. So I guess, Reaper, with the crit, you know everything about Cetus, because as a killer whale, you just have some kind of kinship with them.
Yeah.
So
I
guess
all young killer whale Kuatoas dream of one day growing up to be as strong as the Cetus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you know that they are gentle giants. They don't really fight things that often, but they will defend themselves. They are just absolutely massive, like comically large, basically. And the Kraken is one of the only things that they go out of their way to fight, because Kraken traditionally are ontologically evil. They are like spirits of destruction formed to do the sea's wrath upon people. Like literally, there are cultists of Krakens. Krakens are actually from Norse mythology, but they're associated with Greek mythology because of the film Wrath of the Titans, where he says, "Release the Kraken." Clash of the Titans. So yeah, any questions you want with a crit, I will just straight up tell you. But when you get to the area El Fago was telling you about, the botches kind of kick in, and that you don't see too much of note. It's like a wide open area of sea. There's tons of small fish. And the sea is kind of dark in every direction after a certain length. You all have dark vision, but I'm just saying there's a limit to how far you can see. So you all swim out to where you're supposed to be and start looking around. Is there anything you want to say or do before events start unfolding?
Yeah, I believe it's actually fish eye for the plural.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I want to know, like, what generally is the best way to, like, avoid being noticed by a Cetus, if there's anything like that. Like, we're trying to avoid getting, like, stuck into this fight. But we want to, like, know, like, what's the best way to turn, like, to get its attention and also avoid it, I guess.
Ooh, okay, interesting. Yeah, with a crit, I'll say Cetus seem to be drawn to evil things to fight them. This is what they think about the Kraken. Not necessarily darkness. I'll just, because you're a Reaper, I'm going to specify dark is not necessarily evil. But specifically evil and like foul play, like morally bad things. They decide to kind of gobble up.
Is there any chance that a certain Baron is more morally evil than a Kraken?
I just like the idea of turning to the Baron and be like, can you list all the shady things you've done to procure all the lands you have? Just like say it really loud out loud near the near the Cetuses here, and that no, for no particular reason. Just repent for your sins, and I think you'll be fine. You know.
Yeah, the Baron is more of a lawful evil. His whole like shtick is he thinks he's following the laws. He is legally buying all this property. He's a legitimate businessman, so he's not like cackling evilly.
But do the whales understand property law, or do they understand the vibes of that's an evil thing to do? That is.
I think they are more drawn to literally negative energy, which in Dice Funk, which in D&D is a like physical thing, a property that you can like bottle up. But Krakens are voracious. They attack passing ships. They just kill and eat anything they can get their hands on, and that is very evil and will draw the Cetus to it. It's funny, in 5th edition, the Kraken has been massively redesigned to be, I don't even know what you would call it, almost like a newt or something with a bunch of tentacles instead of more traditional giant octopus or giant squid. You don't see one right now. I guess it's still up in the air what they are. But yeah, here's what I'll say to your question specifically, Reaper. Cetus are drawn to evil. Kraken are drawn to anything they can kill or destroy.
Okay. All right, so we have a good idea on how to get the business baron, banana baron, to get attacked here, and we just need to avoid the Kraken noticing us, basically.
Yeah, you're out in the kind of deep water. There's no notable terrain features around you. There's a huge part of the ocean, obviously, where there's like nothing to see. It's just like dark, deep water, except for like tons of small fish. An interesting thing is like literally sonar can get messed up by fish will school in such large quantities that the sonar will bounce off of them as if they're seabed, making people think the ocean is much shallower in those parts. So like that's what you're dealing with. It's just like huge schools of very small fish.
All right. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we want to kind of pry about there. I guess one question is, if you want, is it possible to communicate with the Cetus if you wanted to like parlay with them about the situation?
Oh, okay. I will say that they do have above average intelligence for animals. I think both the Kraken and the Cetus can understand language, but they cannot speak. So I like they're like parrots basically. So
Okay, so we could maybe just shout very loud, "That man evil."
I would say it's probably going to take more than that, but it's not off the table to speak to either of these things. The question is, will they listen to you? They probably. It's like if you were outside and an ant was like, "Hey, can I tell you about Ant Jesus?" You probably would just keep going.
I mean, if I heard an ant shout, "Can I tell you about Ant Jesus?" I would stop and pay attention.
Laura, can I tell you about Ant Jesus?
Yes. Austin, tell me about Ant Jesus.
If you just buy these crystals, you will hear all about Aunt Jesus and their empire.
Listen, this is why you don't talk to Seventh-day Adventists, you know?
Adventist, yeah.
Adventists, yeah.
See, I won't look, Austin, I won't buy your crystals. I will go on AliExpress and find them for like £2 so I can email you back going, "Oh, the universe granted me the crystals. I didn't have to buy them from you. The universe must have really wanted me to have these crystals."
Damn.
One thing is like, are we planning on doing basically like a stakeout and kind of waiting until they move to go after the Kraken, I guess, for the time being?
That sounds interesting. That could be a stealth check. You could hide among the schools of fish to stake out.
Not the stealthiest in the world, but I'd be up for giving that a shot.
I could use 2 key points to cast Pass Without Trace for us, which gives us a +10 to stealth.
Oh, I love that. I love that spell.
Yeah.
That would make basically anything but a botch be pretty good.
Don't say that.
Don't say that. All right.
Yeah, I'll use 2 key points to cast Pass Without Trace on myself, Boyce, Barbella, and Butt Whiskers.
Okay.
Alfago?
Oh, and Alfago. Sorry, yes, Alfago's here as well. Yeah.
And Knuckles, yes.
Deliberately making your party less stealthy because you're mad at some of the people.
No, I mean, is it the whole point is we need them to get noticed and murdered? So.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, I will say, Barbella, you're wearing paladin armor, so you do have disadvantage on stealth.
But don't I have a thing that gives me... Maybe I'm wrong? I thought I had something that counted that. Maybe not.
Maybe you do. I have forgotten.
It's still a +10 to the check.
I rolled a 30 for stealth.
Wowzers Bowsers.
That's an 18 for Boyce.
That is a 28 with disadvantage. It would have been a crit 31 if that had been. Do you want to change disadvantage to advantage, Austin, so I can have that crit?
It's Pride Month, Austin. I think you have to.
So wait, even 28 and 30, there's very little difference here.
But one of them, the number glows green, and that makes it cooler.
Yeah, that is very cool. I mean, with this, you kind of paint me the picture. So like I said, you're in the open ocean. It's very hard to set up an ambush, but there are large schools of fish you can hide among. Paint me the picture of using Pass Without a Trace and just like hiding. What's this look like?
Yeah, I mean, Reaper's always kind of done this as like sort of like a black shade casting over us, but it's become less of like a more obvious like cloud of darkness, and as Reaper sort of refined her shadow magic, it is just that we start to blend in with the natural sort of shadows of the ocean, and it just seems indistinguishable from like, oh, something big must be swimming up nearby or something like that.
I almost like to think like we almost turn into like a myriad of smaller shadows to mimic the shadows casted by the schools of fish we're hiding among too, you know?
All right, but you're hiding here. Okay, so I'm going to say because of these incredible rolls, this works. But before I reveal the situation, this is your last chance to talk to anybody. I guess also let's just get initiatives in chat here.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 14 for Boyce.
13 for Reaper.
20 for Barbella.
Like, Boyce is going to look over to Reaper and Barbella with a little smile, and particularly say over to Reaper, it's just like, I'm not sure how this is all going to pan out, y'all, but I do have to say, thank you. Thanks to both of you for, helping me here.
Of course.
Hey, it's the least. Yeah, it's the least we could do. Solving homelessness. That's like a big deal.
Of course, you're the only person who seems to be interested in actually making this town better. I suppose I have family here, so it's good to know that the town will be better for them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's pretty much my one goal I have kind of left in life around here. I'm not sure. I'm not saying I have a death wish or anything, but
I hear what you're saying, but also when you have you've tied up all your loose ends and you no longer have things you need to get done, that is typically when people die, and as such, I'm gonna need you boys to come up with a new life plan for after this, right now, so you have some unfinished business, and therefore the universe can't take you yet. It can be real small. Is there an album you want to hear that's coming out soon? Just give me something so the universe doesn't poetically tie a bow on you.
I'm sure maybe I should, I don't know, go to painting or sculpting classes. I mean,
cool. That'll do. There we go. Universe, you heard it. Boyce isn't done yet. This isn't a 1 day left till retirement situation.
Boyce pulls out this is where I'm gonna go to retire away and enjoy the rest of my life after this last mission here. Nothing bad is gonna happen now. And then just immediate head explosion.
All right. So as you all say that, you're lying in wait. This takes hours and hours of patient waiting, swimming, hiding in the shadows. But eventually what you see is up above the shadow of 3 elf navy ships going through these hunting waters. The reason you're here is because El Fuego knows this is where they're whaling. And as you see these 3 ships go ahead, you see from below, kind of slinking through the shadows, absolutely enormous. It's impossible to understate how large a Kraken is. The only thing you have to compare is the riddlefish, right, with its long coiling body kind of roughly being like the tentacles of this thing coming up from below. But it seems like the Kraken is on its way up to destroy those ships. Notably at this point, no Cetus have appeared. You assume they will intervene at some point to attack the Kraken when it does the evil of mass murder on these elves.
As an aside, I want to share the 5e Kraken image in the chat over here, just to kind of bring up the point you said about how different it looks compared to traditional depictions of it.
Yeah, I was trying to think how even to describe this. It's kind of like, what if a salamander had a octopus for a butt?
Yeah.
But what you're seeing from below you is a much more traditional. It's somewhere between an octopus and a squid, which are actually completely different animals. But it has a lot of tentacles. Some of them have suckers, some of them don't. It has a huge, not beak-like mouth, not like an octopus. It has a more traditionally large, toothy maw. But it's hard to see coming up from below you in the darkness, so you don't get you don't. You can't take it all in at once, I'll say that. But I'm going to roll for it, and it has, it just has really stupid stats. El Fuego oops, I hit the wrong button. El Fuego reminds you, we are not here to kill this. We are here to take one tentacle. 26.
Now it's tiny. Okay, now we have a chance.
Yeah. So the Kraken is first up in the order, and it uses its movement to come up from the bottom of the sea and extend its reach toward the ships. There's 3 Elf Navy ships up there. Presumably, when it kills everyone, it will just leave. So that is what's going on there.
Baron, remember to sing songs about your favorite crimes.
Oh, I like that you said that, Barbella, because Valenzuela says, "It's so funny, sister. I was thinking just the same thing." And you all feel suddenly very ill. Constitution saving throw.
We get what? Some bonus for being next to Barbella? Is it advantage?
Yeah, I'm, one sec.
It's equal to charisma modifier, I believe.
Charisma modifier. Yeah, so you can get +3 on this.
That is a 21 for Boyce.
24.
Wow.
19.
All of you pass. I will say, Boyce and Reaper, you've never felt anything like this, but Barbella, you absolutely have it. It immediately throws you into that sense memory when you confronted Baron Valenzuela at the Sponge Cave, where Allison was. You felt very ill the whole time, and as soon as you left his presence, you vomited painfully.
Yeah, that.
So you don't know why, but suddenly that is back. It is actually, of all things, your turn, Barbella. So the Kraken, I rolled to hit, and it starts latching onto one of the elf ships, and that's not going to go great.
Okay, so are we supposed to be attacking the Kraken to, like, slow down its attacking of the elf ships?
We need to find a way to sever one of its limbs. Effectively, is the goal here. And I think one idea could be to try to do things that could potentially be plausibly implied as attacks coming from the elves rather than from us, as one thought.
Okay, I have an idea how to do that. Maybe, question mark.
Yeah, so I will say all the NPCs are attacking while this is happening. I don't want to have to do 5 separate NPC stuff. I'll throw that in. But yeah, there's a lot of roleplay questions about what you're here to do, what you're accomplishing. This is very complex. It's the culmination of the whole campaign. So
yeah. Okay, I know what I'm going to try. So Barbella is going to attempt to hit one of these tentacles with the big crab leg. So let's start there. Does 18 hit?
Does 18 hit? An incredible question. Normally, yes, it does. I don't know why I said normally.
Okay.
That was suspicious of me.
There's a 25 as well. So that's 2 hits, but the first one I'm gonna use my Strike of the Giants, which is a new cool thing I have. Once per turn, when I hit a target with a melee weapon attack, I can imbue the attack with an additional effect, depending on the benefit I choose. And the benefit I'm going to choose is Hill Strike, which is going to cause an extra 1d6 damage, but also the creature will need to succeed on a strength saving throw or gain the prone condition.
Okay. So
let me roll up some damage and then we'll find out if I prone a tentacle.
So here's the thing. If you're attacking a tentacle, that is different from the body of the Kraken. I will say, first of all, just straight up immune to being prone because it's in the ocean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm going to need you to make a sleight of hand check for it not to realize what you're doing, because it is a very large monster. There are a lot of things in the ocean. It could just feel like a small pain on one of its limbs and not necessarily notice you.
Okay, well, considering that prone isn't going to work on the tentacle, okay, we bite the bullet. What am I doing? Sleight of hand, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay. 7.
Uh-oh.
Okay, well, shall I roll the damage against this tentacle first and then find out how fucked I am?
Absolutely, yeah. You still hit it. 100% you hit it.
Okay, 13 plus 17 plus 5 is 35 damage.
Yeah, solid hit. So you slam into the tentacle with your spear. There's an explosion of thunder from your storm giant's powers, and the creature hears that. It perceives that something is attacking it from below. The elves are fighting back though, so they're firing their cannons into the sea. They're throwing harpoons. They're shooting arrows. They're casting magic. So the battlefield is chaotic. But I'll just say the Kraken noticed that.
Okay, that's not ideal. I was really, really hoping to prone a tentacle, just like numb it enough we could be hacking at it without it noticing necessarily.
Yeah.
Okay, I tried. It's you nerds.
Boyce?
So yeah, you mentioned cannons firing the water. I want to leverage that actually to my advantage here.
I will say, hold on. I double checked. I'm looking at the stats. It's immune to frightened and paralyzed. It doesn't say prone.
Okay, roll me that strength check.
Okay, you know what? Okay, I'm partially doing this because I want you to see what this number is.
Yeah, no, I this is what I expected the response to be, but I at least wanted to know the number and like get it out there. More info is helpful.
22.
Okay, yeah, that it's not prone, but
No.
it theoretically could have maybe been.
Yeah, fair enough. Boyce?
All right. So what I want to do is I'm trying to think of the best way to kind of frame this one here.
I will say that I'm using, so there is Kraken, the monster in the monster manual. You are not fighting that. You are fighting Kraken tentacle parentheses 1, which is a different stat block.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, this is my opening volley here, is I want to target a shatter spell near, like along the limb, near where one of the cannons are, and want to transpose its damage type to acid. So it still makes an explosive sound as if it's being done by the cannon, but it's going to be applying acid damage to try to melt the limb off.
Oh, exciting. Yeah, so you're all attacking in novel ways, so we'll add a deception at the end of this turn to see how this works.
All right, so that's 15 acid damage from it there, as like it gets coated with that, as Boyce tries to kind of stay in shadows as well as he can as he volleys off that first shot to try to gauge the reaction from the Kraken there.
All right, yeah, hit me with a deception to see if you trick it with your misdirection.
Is there any the acid damage worked, correct?
Correct.
Okay. That is a 5. So I'm very deceptive, right? No.
It doesn't think much about what's going on there. I'll say that.
Austin, we haven't reminded you in like 10 minutes, but it is Pride Month.
That's right.
Oh my god. Okay. You all are you're fucking goof. All of you are goofy. Reaper?
Yeah, so I guess I'll stick to helping with this, but I might also 3D Big Brain a chess move at the end of my turn as well. So
Do it.
I'm going to throw a couple shurikens at this tentacle leg with such oomph that it can sever the whole thing, hopefully. 23 and 21.
Those both hit.
24 damage. And then yeah, I just feel like this is a funny thing to do. So obviously, like I'd have like a martial arts attack, like an unarmed attack I could do, but like I can't do it against a fucking Kraken whose tentacle I'm trying to like stay away from. So instead, I want to turn to Lucius and say rematch time and strike at Lucius.
Yeah, not only can you do that, I think El Fago gives you a thumbs up, because part of what you're trying to do here is frame the Kraken for the murder of these people.
Yeah.
So you're rolling a different attack here?
Yeah. So I'm going to spend a key point to do 2 of these. So 22 and 18 against Lucius.
Both of those hit.
Okay. That's going to be 22 damage.
Wow. Okay. So you turn and you just use the harpoon to hit the blue dragon man who's firing on the tentacle with his wand.
Yeah. Rematch time.
He says, "I would expect nothing less from a coward like you." Some sneak attack.
When you win the tournament, you get to choose the time and place of the rematch.
He pulls out his wand, spins it around and just says, "Fuck this shit. This is between you and me now. I don't care about any of this other stuff."
I'm trying to reduce the amount of people that if we killed this fucking tentacle, they don't immediately all just get to jump in on it first, essentially. Like, I'm like, at least one of them's distracted.
For sure.
So a lot going on here. I will say that people don't immediately notice that you're fighting Lucius. They'll notice quickly, but for this turn, Porter starts summoning magic and firing it at the tentacle. Butt Whiskers is rushing in and also firing the wand. Interestingly, Baron Valenzuela is just sitting back, kind of arms crossed, watching. It's very curious. You may have noticed the Kraken didn't use any legendary actions during that round. He is much more focused on the Elf Navy. They're a much bigger threat. But we got to the end of the order, and he does know about you. So Barbella, I'm going to attack you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 21. That's gonna hit.
Yeah.
All right. You are going to take 16 damage as it swats you away like a mosquito, like a human would do a mosquito. It just is like, get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
It hits you with it. But there is a wound on this tentacle everyone is aiming for. You were the first person to strike. You sunk your spear into the rubbery appendage, and now everyone is aiming for that wound to try to sever it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. You all still feel very ill. There's a knot in your stomach. It's like a very unpleasant tingling is spreading through you. Can I get wisdom saving throws, everybody?
If you're still near me, have a +3 on that.
That's a 25 crit.
21.
8.
So only Barbella, you're the only one who's been affected before when you were ill physically. This time, you have been inflicted with the fear status condition. You have a disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while your source of fear is within line of sight. And it is.
What's your source of fear?
Barbella doesn't know.
Oh.
I will say it is, though.
One of these new age kind of horror movie fears.
The fears from inside.
I mean, does Barbella realize this is that thing I felt before, at least?
Yes, you're the one who is 100% sure about that because you have felt this terrible feeling before.
Well, Barbella's making an educated guess on where that fear is coming from.
Yeah. So that's the end of the order. Everyone is fully in battle with the Kraken. Your team, the whole patrol, and the Banana Boys from below, the Elf Navy from above. There are arrows and spells splashing down to the water. The sea is churning. It is the Kraken's turn. And he is going to, once again, focus on the ships, which are just doing more damage. So you don't take any more additional punishment. Barbella, it is your turn, but reminder, you do have disadvantage because you are frightened.
Yeah, I need to go start trying to hit that Baron, I think. Right. Let's do it. Okay, so the first one. Okay, the first hit is a 20 with disadvantage.
Who are you attacking?
The Baron.
All right. So
I suspect this is the source of the fear.
Okay, couple of things simultaneously before you roll any more dice. So I'm dropping down the combat. So the Elf versus Kraken is still happening, but I'm creating like a secondary bracket down here, which is Reaper versus Lucius, and now Barbella versus the Baron. Here's the thing. You rolled 20. That is higher than his AC. But when you turn around and you thrust your spear into his body, it stops an inch away from his flesh, like trying to push two magnets of the same polarity together. No matter how hard you push, you cannot touch him. And he says,
Okay.
Hey there, Barbella. Trying to itch a scratch for me? That's so thoughtful.
Okay, Austin, I got questions. First
Yeah.
of all, does 13 also hit the AC?
13 does not hit the AC.
Okay. My Strike of the Giants pops when I hit a target. Because I hit the AC, did I hit this target?
I will say if thunder magic explodes out of your spear because of your storm giant ability, it wraps around him as if the energy was made out of the same polarity as whatever he's made out of. It's the damnedest thing.
Okay. But also, if you're letting that hit, he is going to have to do a wisdom saving throw.
11.
That's not going to be high enough. I am now invisible to the Baron.
Whoa. That's cool.
This is my Cloud Strike.
That's sick.
Yeah, so I at the very least have a second to get some breathing room where he cannot hit me until he works out what the fuck's going on.
And you're no longer in the line of sight of whoever's causing the fear, technically.
Oh, am I not feared anymore, Austin?
He's not. You're not in his line of sight. He's still in. Well, the source of fear. No, the source of fear, him, is within your line of sight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Skitch, thank you for. You said it very confidently. I was very willing to believe you.
I do love this image, though. You turn around, quick thrust right into his chest with your spear. Nothing happens, but then the magic blasts out of both ends. One uselessly around him, the other turns you invisible, and you are, blend into the ocean. It's really cool looking.
Oh, you know what I could activate still before I finish my turn? Successful hit. Can I attempt to blast him 10 feet with my with my water because I successfully hit him?
Sure, yeah, you can push him away.
Okay, can I push him toward the Kraken 10 feet?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. Okay, cool. I can't damage him, but I can knock him Krakenward.
Kraken word. You know what? That's really clever. I'm gonna have the Kraken roll on him. 13 damage. So you push him into the Kraken reflexively snaps back at him, slaps him away. You see it, that made contact, it hurt. The Baron says, "Saints alive, youch."
Yeah.
Damn, I did not like that.
That's interesting. Okay, so he isn't immune to damage. I don't know what the difference here is, but
He is tumbling ass over tea kettle through the water, having been slapped by a tentacle, and he reaches down and pulls out his straight razor. It's a razor clam shell, and he starts playing with it. We'll get back to that in a second.
okay.
Boyce, you're the only one in the whole patrol not fighting a banana boy. Are you going to do anything different, or are you still going after the tentacle?
I do think I should be doing one more round against the Kraken before I turn my attention elsewhere, but I have a trick up my sleeve for how to deal with this particular thing. So what I'm going to do as a bonus action is have the manifested mind move a little bit away from Boyce so that the source of the spell is not him. And then cast a thunder aspected fireball 4th level at the point of the limb that has been already wounded there. So that'll be a dexterity saving throw, but it's originating from this sort of ethereal, intangible floating face rather than Boyce.
Only a 15. That's gonna fail.
That is going to take the full damage of this, so that's going to be 27 thunder damage centered on the wound, and also probably damaging the elf ship in the process there. That was 9d6 damage, so not super great damage, but yeah, 3 1s that damage roll. Golly. Anyways.
Yeah, the damage roll could have been better, but I think a thing you notice is that dexterity seems to absolutely be its lowest stat, because this is a kind of just a stationary tentacle on a much larger siege creature, so it is not like it can escape.
Now, who's the last of the Banana Baron's main lackeys? What is their name again?
Porter,
yeah. Boyce is going to take a moment to look around to see where Porter is, to kind of finish their turn. But that is sort of why their action and bonus action is move the mind, blast the limb from a different location to aid in the misdirection of what they're doing.
Yeah, Porter, Butt Whiskers, and El Fago are still attacking the tentacle. Notably, Butt Whiskers has a normal wand that is shooting blasts out like a gun, but Porter seems to have a lot of different spells at her disposal. She is doing much more complicated, bespoke magic. So it is like the difference between someone shooting with a 6-shooter and someone with a rocket launcher over there. All right, Reaper, you're up against Lucius the Blue Dragon, and he says, Be honest with me. Did the Baron ask you to take a dive?
I mean, I recall something along those lines. I think he tried to threaten my teammates to make them kind of push me into it.
You said during the tournament he didn't believe I could win.
He didn't. And you didn't.
After I'm done killing you, I'll kill him next.
Damn. I almost wish you weren't going to lose so I could see that happen.
All right, yeah. He's been pushed too far. He's been humiliated. You all snuck through his farm when it was his, responsibility. You beat him in the tournament. It's just he's basically fucking done with this shit.
Yeah.
So swing on him.
Yeah, so I'm going to do something I don't know. I'm trying not to think meta. So I am going to have Reaper take out her harpoon and attack with that. So this is 23, 19, and then 18 against Lucius.
All three hit. I will say that the math on that final tournament, if it wasn't clear from that fight, you could not have survived another turn of his. So that's how close it was, if I recall.
34 damage, and I will spend a key point to do Stunning Strike.
Oh boy. So I need to save against that. 15.
15 is one below. Tragic.
Let me just double
You
check
don't
something.
you don't want me to just unlock this dude?
He's so fucking cooked. He's completely cooked.
Yeah. All right, we're at the end of the order. So El Fago is biting into the wound of the Kraken's tentacle, ripping at it with his jaws. Butt Whiskers is still firing a wand. But at this point, Porter did notice and is coming over to help the other Banana Boys who are under attack. Everyone, intelligence saving throw is the terrible feeling in your gut wrenches up, and you now feel a terrible headache coming on.
16.
19.
Holy balls.
12.
No! Only Laura. Laura, you are stunned, which just straight up means you lose your turn.
Okay, well, am I still invisible? When does my being invisible last until? Until the start of my next turn. Fuck. I'm not invisible anymore.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Or
So
I
that
won't
the-
be on my turn anyway. I'm
Yeah.
invisible until my turn.
So the water is starting to get full of blood as this fight rages on. Barbella, you are, hiding somewhere around the Banana Baron when this feeling roars in your head and you are dizzy. You can see your hands reappear as the magic wears off. And the Baron looks at you and says, "Now why'd you go and do a thing like that, sister? We had such a good arrangement."
The fear was at least part of it. Can Barbella, during this conversation, Barbella can't take any actions or anything, but can she do a roll of some kind to try and go, why did the Kraken do damage but not me?
Absolutely. Arcana?
Okay. Arcana. 17.
Yeah, there's a magic effect in play. There's a magic on you that's not on the Kraken. 17 is good enough to just say that straight up. So something magic was done.
I have an idea what this is. I don't know if I should say it.
Up to you.
Go for
Is it? So we're all using weapons that Porter has enhanced.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's why I said that I wasn't sure if Reaper should be using a harpoon. I thought there was a way that she was going to turn it against me, but I was like, I don't think Reaper's smart enough to realize that.
I thought it was that at first, but then when my Strike of the Giants damage didn't damage either, I second guessed it.
Yeah, I will say it's a little bit more than that. There is, if you had gotten 20, I would say something additional right now. But you are on the correct track. This is essentially right. But what happens on the Baron's turn, because now you're fighting the Baron one-on-one, Barbella, is he starts moving towards you, kind of flipping the razor in his hand, and he says, It's gonna cause so much trouble when you don't come back to Zolfo, Barbella. Are you sure I can't persuade you to let bygones be bygones?
Well, I mean, step one of convincing me would be, dropping the magic effects that are preventing me from, moving or feeling unafraid. That'd be a good, olive branch you could offer.
That does sound mighty nice, but I'm not a particularly nice person, Barbella. I'm a businessman.
No, I'm aware of that. It's why I attacked you. You're a bit of a dick.
Yeah, and he doesn't attack you necessarily. He moves towards you, slowly. He has an ability much like the Tonberry from Final Fantasy.
Oh, God.
Okay, cool. Well, you move on with the turn order then, while I sit here trying to work out whether magic weapon would in any way let me hit this fucker.
Yeah, I will just say he's going to move closer and closer, and then there's no dice. You just get dropped to 0 as he slits your throat, is what's going to happen there.
Yeah. How do I get a chance to try and roll to break out of being stuck?
No, it goes away. Your head clears up. I'm not going to make you roll, but you have lost that turn.
Okay. So what I think Boyce is going to do here is see Porter come to aid Lucius and the others, and Boyce will just be like, basically, oh, look out for that one, and shoot guiding bolt at Porter.
All right.
So let's see here. What is the attack roll? This is going to be? Oh, wow. So Austin.
That's me.
Yeah, Austin. Okay. 13's not going to hit Porter, I know, right?
Correct.
But what do you want to have happen as a consequence of that being a botch? That's really my main question for you.
I think she one of her earrings glows and she just sucks up the spell and stores it for later.
All right. That's acceptable.
Yeah.
And then as a bonus action, Boyce is going to move the spectral mind around a bit more, just kind of anticipating something he's planning on doing maybe later on in case something comes up. But the mind is closer to the Kraken, so if Boyce needs to shoot off a spell at the Kraken, he could do it from that location while still engaging with Porter.
Yeah, Porter, when you shoot the guiding bolt at her, she turns to you, Boyce, and says, "What I ever do to you?"
Try to purloin my spells without even asking permission. Listen, also, I'm sorry, but a lot of this comes down to the person who employs you. They stand in opposition to what I and many others are trying to create for Zolfo. We're just trying to make a community, and we're trying to almost escape from some of the ills of the world of the past. And all I see is an attempt to bring those ills here.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, buddy. The Baron raised us up out of the fucking darkness. We were eating fucking shit. The Nudibranches, we've never had more community. We've never had more togetherness. You fucking loser. It's her turn. Wisdom saving throw as her earrings start glowing.
Cool. 16.
16 is going to be just under what I needed from you. I'm going to read you the spell Phantasmal Killer. You tap into the nightmares of a creature you can see within range and create an illusory manifestations of its deeper spheres, visible only to that creature. Wisdom saving throw or take 4d10 damage. Boyce, can you describe to me Ollie?
Ollie is a water genasi like Boyce. Their skin is more green hued, more than like the bluish hues that Boyce had. Their hair is also seaweed-like, ordained with a lot more little trinkets and items like pearls and other elements. And they're dressed they were typically dressed in like an open robe around other clothing, all of it looking a bit lavish and flourishing as well. And typically they would have either paint stains or like clay or other sort of like remnants of what they had just been working on creatively on their form.
All right, and Ollie is moving towards you in the water, just like almost like a ghost, head hung low, and you just hear him almost whispering, "Where's Gaudy? Where's Gaudy, Boyce? Where'd he go? What did you do?"
I'll just repeat it again, you son of a bitch. Anyways.
All right, yeah, that's coming after you, and then we're back at Reaper. Reaper, Lucius is trying to lift his wand to shoot at you, but his body is not cooperating.
Yeah. I have to ask, just to make sure one of our party members doesn't get instantly KO'd, how close is Lucius to Barbella?
These 3 fights are happening close enough to see each other, but not close enough to interact.
Because I did have the idea of casting Darkness to try to give Barbella an extra turn and sacrifice my turn, but...
Don't worry, Barbella's got a plan for getting out of sight again.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, Lucius. I actually kind of wanted to have a more honorable fight, but shit's getting too real, so I am going to run it back again, as they say, and 24, 23, 18.
I think all those are actually made with advantage.
Oh, no. Well, no, it's until the start of my next turn. So as soon as it's my turn, he stops being stunned.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would be, yeah.
2 words. Oh, yeah. To be fair, yes.
But I still believe all 3 of those hit.
Correct.
Yeah. So it's going to be 34 damage, all 4s. So strange. And then I'll spend a key point to do another stunning strike.
Oh, man. He says, "You son of a bitch. This is dishonorable." 16.
16 matches, so I believe
Holy
he saves.
shit.
Yeah.
All right. He's going to get to fight back. He finally lifts the wand as you beat the holy hell out of him with your harpoon, and magic missile cannot be fucked with, so you're just going to take 14 damage. Bam, bam, bam. He starts finally shooting back.
Finally, I was worried this wasn't going to be even worth remembering.
Yeah. All right. We're at the end of the order. So everybody, the Constitution saving throw as the sick feeling gets worse and worse and worse. It seems like the DC is going to go up as well.
25 nat 20.
Holy fuck.
19.
21.
Oh my god, you're all doing so well. Yeah, and all of you do feel bad, but not enough to have any mechanical impact. But yeah, there's just this you have a headache, you feel nauseous, your bones hurt. It's just, you feel the worst you've felt in quite some time. And some of you have nearly died, so that's quite saying something. In the background, the Kraken is going to slap El Fago because he's one of the only people up close to it. So let me roll for that. That's going to be a... Nope, that's the wrong dice.
Damn it.
14. That doesn't hit. He just turns into a roly-poly ball and tanks it.
Hell yeah.
Barbella.
Okay, fuck it. We're sticking with the plan that worked once before. So, am I still feared?
Yep.
Okay, so let's try and hit with disadvantage. Does 14 hit for the first attack?
It does not.
22 for the second.
Yep. You attack with the spear against the Banana Baron, and it does the same thing, an inch away from his flesh.
So again, it doesn't deal any damage, but I'm going to need another Wisdom saving throw from the Baron.
All right. 23.
As a reaction, Silvery Barbs, re-roll that with disadvantage.
Oh boy. 12. Silvery Barbs.
Yes. Yeah.
Barbella is once again invisible, plus, once again, let's hit that Banana Baron towards the Kraken.
You're playing fucking volleyball with his ass.
Yeah,
That's
I'm just going to
hilarious.
invisibly, just scoop myself around a bit so he doesn't know where I am and let the Kraken do the damage.
I'm also going to grant Reaper advantage on her next attack or other check.
Yay.
All right. Barbella used the power of the waves to throw the Baron into the Kraken, who slaps him for 14 damage. He does not like that.
Yeah, look at me, I'm getting damage in. There might be a more efficient solution to this, but this one's working. So for now,
Pretty
this
funny
is the plan.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's got real peekaboo slap. Peekaboo slap.
He says, I can feel myself becoming angry, Barbella. I don't think this is a good idea for you.
Well, I don't think me getting stabbed with a one-hit murder stab's a good idea for me, so I'm going to take my chances.
I'm very disappointed. I thought we were working together. Why have you done this?
I agreed to things under duress at the threat of potentially murdered person. You do not... Do you not understand the idea of a person might agree to a thing under duress?
It's called negotiation, Barbella. It's a leverage, it's a strategy, it's just business.
It's pretty not great. And I don't care. I'm invisible. Slap.
He just mutters to himself, it's just business. It's just business.
Yeah, and so is this.
Boyce, at the beginning of your turn, do you take Phantasmal Killer or at the end? I double check. At the end. So if you can knock Porter out of concentration, you're not going to take this damage.
Well, Porter has a problem because Porter is fairly close to Boyce, I believe, when they pulled this, correct?
Yep.
Boyce, out of fear of seeing like Ali accusing him, is gonna be a coward and move away by proxy of the spell Thunderstep, which is gonna be acid aspected since that's Boyce's like natural affinity.
What spell level is that?
That is a 4th level Thunderstep.
All right. You attempt to interrupt a creature in the process of casting a spell. If the spell is 4th level or higher, make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. I am casting Counterspell as one of Porter's earrings flash. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to... The DC is 14, and I need to make a check with my spellcasting ability. 17.
Yeah, I was double checking here. All right. And I believe the spell fails, so it doesn't even, like, do anything there, correct? Yep.
The creature spell fails and has no effect.
Cool. I'm going to be an asshole, and because my turn came up, I get another reaction. Silvery Barbs that. Roll that again with disadvantage.
All right, good stuff. 10 fails! Silvery Barbs! Silvery Barbs!
Barbella's going to get the advantage from this one here. So,
thanks for that.
Give me a DC 20 Constitution save to see how this goes.
15, that fails.
Cool. So that is, wow, terrible damage. 13 13 acid damage as Boyce teleports away. And then concentration check here, which is just the D20 there.
Fail.
Oh boy. Well, there we go. So
ooh. What a huge back and forth there. For the audience, you tried to use Thunderstep to knock her out of concentration so the Phantasmal Killer wouldn't hit you. She counterspelled that. You Silvery Barbs the counter spell, so she didn't counter the Thunderstep, and then you blasted her, and she still could have gotten out of that if she had gotten her concentration check better and not lost it.
When Boyce pulls a little bit further away, he is still very visibly shaken, but he sort of stares daggers at Porter. It's just like, I don't know how much more I can say other than, how dare you try to pull that stunt on me there?
You attack my family, I attack your family.
It's one thing to attack my family. It's another try to attack me with my family.
I haven't even started yet, Boyce.
Man, for someone as smart as you are, you're sure pretty fucking stupid about what type of fight you're picking here.
Whoa, that's intense. All right, so it's Porter's turn. Wisdom save, as she's going to cast Hold Person on you. Is that wisdom?
That will be a 14, so go ahead.
Yeah, you fail. So one of her earrings glows, and your arms kind of snap to your side, and now you're stuck in place. Mm-hmm. And she just kind of laughs to herself and says, I see Barbella is bouncing the Baron off the Kraken. That seems like a fun idea. and she begins pushing you towards the Kraken. Reaper, I think it's going to be your turn. Lucius is not looking well.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to try to put an end to it as quickly as I can. So the first attack I make with advantage, so 24, 28, and 19.
Yep. you know that.
Yeah.
Killed.
I started writing the code to punch into damage. 34 damage and another key point to do stunning strike.
You don't need to. Lethal or non-lethal?
Non-lethal. I want to note that. Even though our plan is to kill the Barons here, I don't think Reaper particularly wants to kill Lucius, because he actually does seem like he is not a supreme dickhead and kind of is caught in a bad situation, so she's not going to kill him. She's just going to be like,
Not as good as the first time, but I don't know. Maybe we'll do best out of 5.
and then she's just going to deliver a punch that just knocks him straight out.
Okay, yeah. He goes floating away. We're at the end of the order. Everybody, wisdom save.
15.
18.
8. Can I use the silvery barbs to have advantage on this?
Can I use silvery barbs to brush my teeth? Can I use silvery barbs to make myself a
No,
delicious
I got
snack?
I got given advantage.
I know, I'm joking.
To be clear, it just applies on the next check you make. So the answer is
Okay.
yes, it is applying here.
Yes. Okay. I'll take the first roll. It's an 8.
You have to.
Oh,
You
I
actually have to use the second result for silvery bar. Or no, never mind. It's advantage. Never
It's
mind.
advantage.
It's
Good God.
There's two different weird
Quinn, don't
ways
try
of
and
rolls.
Quinn, don't try and force me into taking a botch, please. I got an 8. It's fine.
All right. So the terrible buzzing in your head now just feels like you've been kicked by a horse. Like you lose sight in one eye. You are just in terrible agony, and you once again lose your invisibility, Barbella. Yeah, that's not good. In fact, it is your turn. I'll say that. You don't lose your turn entirely, but you do have the side effect blinded. It's not literal. It's just the headache is blinding. And the Baron is coming for you. He sees you again.
Okay, so I'm still getting disadvantage on the attacks.
Correct.
Okay, I know what my plan for the turn is then. Okay. So I'm swinging at that Baron. The first is a 27.
Holy shit.
Disadvantage. The second is a 16. Does the 16 hit as well?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think it really makes a difference because I can only knock back with the water once per turn. So I'm gonna hit that Baron, trying to hit them back to the Kraken again.
All right. 29. Boyce, I'll do yours too. 16.
16 does hit Boyce, yes.
All right. So the boop. All right. So the Baron takes 8 more damage, and Boyce takes 12 because both of you were in the
Okay.
range of the tentacles.
Well, you said that the Baron's coming at me slowly, so I'm going to use Misty Step to as a bonus action hop 30 feet away. Just buy myself some time.
Yep. He moves implacably towards you on his turn. He just says, Barbella, how long are we going to do this? You know what the outcome will be once you've crossed me.
Yeah, the outcome will be the Kraken kills you, and we will keep going until the Kraken kills you.
Yeah, that might have worked. Unfortunately, the Kraken isn't going to be a problem for much longer. And he points behind you, and you turn around and you see a huge shadow coming in this direction.
Is it the whale?
It's the whale. Yeah.
It's the comedy whale. Look out, everyone.
Boyce, you are being caught up in the tentacles. You are paralyzed. It doesn't seem good for you. It looks like you're about to get eaten up by the Kraken. Hold person says at the end of each target's turn, you can make a wisdom saving throw to break out. So that's all you can do.
That's correct.
Right?
Yep.
Let's see if you get out.
That'd be a 17.
Yeah, that's gonna do it.
Yeah, but Boyce is still like tangled up in things and basically his entire turn was wasted otherwise there. So
Yeah. So you don't take any additional damage, but Porter has pushed you into the danger zone.
Boyce will take the moment to kind of evaluate how Butt Whiskers and Elfago are doing, actually.
Yeah, they both have taken some damage. I rolled earlier. Elfago has a sky-high AC because of his carapace, and Butt Whiskers is attacking at range. I think at this point, in fact, it's good that you brought attention to it. I think at this point, the Kraken finally crushes one of the elf ships completely. There were 3, so it is killed 1/3 of these elves. People are dropping into the water, screams, shrapnel. It is not going great, and now the Cetus has arrived. So before I say anything about that, Reaper, you knock Lucius out. Do you have anything you want to do before the whale gets here? You did crit on the nature about the whale, so I'll say that.
Yeah, so do I notice the whale then?
Yep.
Yeah, so I think I want to say,
Hey, Baron, what would you have done with the vent had you won the tournament?
Well, Reaper, if it had no practical use, I would have waited until it was a well of resurrection and then charged the church to use it. I'm a simple member of the community. What do you mean?
So you would have created an extra obstacle for someone to be revived, made things a little bit harder for someone's loved one to come back?
You could look at it that way, or you could say that I would have let church personnel be compensated for their effort.
It sounds more like you're interested in your own monetary gain at the cost of the community around you. Quite the evil actions, don't you think?
No, I'm not evil, Reaper. I'm just a normal guy. I'm an ordinary man.
Why did you ask for me to take the dive in the tournament then? You didn't believe that your own friend could win the fight? You didn't have faith?
No, I did not. I knew you were stronger. I did my homework.
It's a shame. You could have really supported your friend there. That also sounds like an evil thing to do.
Okay. Animal handling, Quinn.
yeah, hold on.
I love you.
Thank you. 11!
Not only does that fail, here's what happens. The Cetus gets bigger, or the Cetus gets closer and closer and closer. And you see why it is the only thing that can hunt a Kraken. It is because it is simply that large. It could almost... It can't eat it whole, but it can pick it up in its mouth and start to eat it. That is how big it is. It's like a famous mythological motif, the squid and the whale. It's getting closer and closer, and as you're having this conversation, it can understand you, and it seems like it's going to go for Baron Valenzuela. But then he reaches down and touches his belt buckle with the picture of the krill on it, and the shrieking noise in your head becomes unbearable. The Cetus itself flinches, and it, instead of gobbling up the Baron, turns to the party and opens its gaping maw to eat the whole patrol whole.
It's Pride Month, Cetus! What the fuck?